I tried this in Germany, but they didn't really understand me. I had to speak very slowly. But I don't know if it still translates. I don't know if it translates, period, because I'm gonna ramble for a minute, if that's okay. Truth be told, this is just a good chance for me to catch my fucking breath. So. Pretty, isn't it? Gives me a chance to gather my thoughts that aren't there to begin with. When I was just a little boy. I like the fog. Where did that come from? I feel like I'm in a Dio video. Who cries for the children? More on that in a minute. When I was just a little boy, I used to go to this thing called a skating rink. Do you know what those are? Were those ever big here? Probably not. Well, in my town, there wasn't anything to do except hang out at McDonald's and maybe shoot rabbits. So we went to the skating rink, and that's where all the girls were. And we would go into the skating rink, and I would take my skates with my red wheels, and I would get out there, and I would win every race. I would win all the race, and I would get all the tokens so I could buy all the soft drinks that you could ever imagine. And there was this one girl named Janie. She was 3 years older than me, but she was hot. And I asked her if she wanted to skate with me, and she said, okay. She was kind of redneck, but I still thought she was hot. And she said, do you like heavy metal? I said, yeah, I like heavy metal. And she said, can you play an instrument at all? I said, I dabble in guitar just a little bit. She said, do you know how to play any Night Ranger? I said, no, but I'll go home and learn it. So I went home the next day, and I pulled out a Night Ranger record that my sister owned. Ooh, this makes it easier. And so I sat there and I learned the solo to Sister Christian, note for fucking note. And I went back the next day to Janie's house, and I took my guitar and I said, watch what I can do. And I whipped it out. And you know what? She let me put my hand down her pants. That was pretty good for a 14-year-old. Me, 14. She was 17. I can see the cops coming now. So... why am I trying to do this to myself? I'm in too deep, I can't stop. Improv is a horrible thing. But I remember very clearly, she looked at me, she said, that's very good. That's very good. And my real name at the time was Brad. And she said, that's real good, Brad. But do you know any Bon fucking Jovi? It was a dreaded question. But I said, I think my sister owns a copy of Slippery When Wet. So I went home that night, and I learned the guitar solo to Living on a Prayer. And when I saw her the next day, I didn't have enough money to buy that little talk box tube thing, so I just sat there and went, whack. And she said, you get an A for effort. And eventually, Janie, I took her virginity. I was pretty happy about that. It was my first conquest. And I did it, of all things, listening to Dire Straits. I'm telling you more than I need to. Money for Nothing was the song that was on. And I shit you not, right as I was about to... she said, in time with the song, that's the way you do it. That's the hottest thing I've ever heard in my life. Anyway, long story short, I joined a metal band right after that because I was like, this is really cool. And so I joined a metal band. And I kept it for a long time, and then cut to like a bunch of bullshit later, and here I am, like years later, I'm standing here on stage in front of you in London, and this is pretty cool. I'm not, a lot has happened since then. I'm not in a metal band anymore, but I still, every now and again, think about Janie and Dire Straits, and that's how you do it, you know? I'm so embarrassed, this shit's gonna be YouTubed, and I'm gonna see it tomorrow. You know what's even worse? My fucking mom's gonna see it. Shit.